I mean, for God's sakes, when you did it a couple years ago and Romo couldn't make it, you were criticizing people so much so that 4 years later, people are still complaining about it in Canada. I'll tell you that story next.
What?
On the Fan and CBS Sports Network, it is Boomer and Gio.
They're mad at me in Canada?
Still.
You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
How about that tease? Okay, so I'm going to throw it back for you. I'm going to throw it back to January 3rd, 2021. Does that date mean anything to you at all? January 3rd, 2021. 2021.
3 years ago.
Yeah, yes, that's right. January 3rd, 2021. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. You're shaking your head.
I'm trying to think if I was in Canada or something. Was I out there for a hockey tournament or something?
No, and the reason why you're thinking Canada is because that's what I said in the tease.
Yes.
I said that all of Canada still seems to be mad at you, which was a little bit of an exaggeration.
Why are they mad at me? I love their sport, which they suck at now, by the way. They screwed the whole thing up out there in Hockey Canada.
Well, it's not really all of Canada. It was back then, but this thing has come back from 3 years ago, this whole thing. So I'll bring you back to January 3rd, 2021, out in L.A.
Oh, I know it is. Okay, now I know.
And you are filling in for Tony Romo. Tony Romo either was playing golf or had COVID or both. I don't remember. But it's you and Jim Nantz.
No. He was sick. He wasn't feeling well. I don't know if he had COVID, but he wasn't feeling well.
Oh, whatever. So he probably had COVID. It was COVID times.
I know there was one time where they had me on standby.
Standby for the golf.
For the golf, because he almost qualified for some tournament.
But he did not.
Standby, right.
Right, but he did not. So you're out there calling the game. Chris Streveler happens to be the quarterback for, at the time, was the
Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Well, Kyler Murray got hurt that game. The Cardinals had to win that game, if I remember correctly, to make it to the playoffs.
That's right. So
in the beginning of the game, Kyler got hurt, twisted an ankle, and then Streveler came in.
And I believe John Wolford was the quarterback for the Rams that day.
So I had Streveler and Wolford, which, hey, good for them. They made it to the NFL. I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them.
All right.
But it was a very important game for the Cardinals.
So
if I remember right.
Streveler's in there, and Streveler ended up with the Jets after this. And
we liked him here.
Had a nice preseason, and that was that.
Kind of a Taysom Hill type of quarterback.
And we took some calls of people saying, put in Streveler. You know, we want Streveler. So Streveler throws a bad pick, and I will bring you back to this, Jim Nantz and you calling this on CBS, and what you said after the pick six.
Little hesitation, but Streveler's on it. Watch out, he's picked. Picked by Hill. Troy Hill running down the sidelines, now cutting back middle. He's in a foot race. Inside the 20, and if he doesn't fall down, he's home for the touchdown.
What a horrific mistake by Reveler. He throws it in between three Ram defenders as he is getting hit in the pocket. You know, this isn't the Grey Cup. This isn't the CFL. You can't just take chances and throw the ball down the middle of the field and expect a little bit.
All right, so there it is.
All right, okay.
This isn't the Grey Cup. This isn't the CFL.
Yeah, because he was a CFL player. He had come from the CFL.
Right. So now he's back in the CFL, Chris Streveler.
Good for him.
And Chris Streveler was interviewed by somebody who covers the CFL. And guess what came up?
This
is what came up.
Awesome.
So he's asked about it.
Let it go, boys. What snowflake asked him that question?
The name of the person is John Hodge. John Hodge asked him the question. So Streveler said, I wouldn't say it was unfair to me by any means. I made a mistake. I threw a pick six. That's a bad play. I thought it was unfair to the league. I never had a chance to talk to him about it. I just would ask for clarification as to what he meant, but I'm not going to press him. You're on the air. You say something. It's not personal. He's doing his job. I'm trying to do my job.
Well, good for him.
And he said, I think that's a really unfair shot at the CFL. I have so much respect for the game and the players that are up here. I don't think that's fair to the league at all. There's a lot of really talented quarterbacks, and I don't think the game is based on just throwing the ball up by any means. It's unfortunate that's maybe the impression of the CFL it's given to people because of that comment and me making a mistake at a critical point in the game.
Basically what it is, if those guys could play in the NFL, they would be playing in the NFL. They're not. They're playing in the CFL. So maybe you take chances in the CFL because the athletes aren't quite the athletes that are in the NFL, especially on that Rams defense. And that was my point. It wasn't I'm just saying, hey, you just can't throw the ball down the middle of the field against NFL athletes without expecting it to be intercepted. I
think most people the CFL people clearly very, very sensitive about the American football take on the CFL.
Let me just tell you something, everybody up there. Look, if your guys were good enough to play in the NFL, like Streveler played in the NFL.
Yeah. He
actually legitimately played in the NFL. And if he was good enough to stay here, he would stay here. He wouldn't be signing with the Canadian Football League.
That is correct.
It's just a different brand of football. It's a wider field, a longer field. There are more players on the field. It's an entertaining game for sure. And a lot of quarterbacks like Warren Moon and Doug Flutie have had just a ton of success up there.
Ton of success,
which is great and which is fine, but it's not the NFL. I'm sorry.
And this guy, what did I say, John Hodge or Hoge, whatever his name was?
Yeah.
So he puts his own commentary at the end of this.
Oh, he does? Okay.
It says CBS, Esiason's current employer, now owns the CFL's television broadcasting rights in the United States.
Oh.
Perhaps he'll tune into a game or two this summer. If he does, maybe he'll even learn something.
Oh. About what?
I mean, I guess the greatness of the CFL and how they're just not discriminately throwing the ball down the field like you believe that they do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm saying that a CFL player threw the ball down the middle of the field in an NFL game, and it's going to get picked. I'm sorry. And I do appreciate Chris Streveler continuing to play. I think that's great. He loves the game. Just not as an NFL quarterback, that's all.
I'm going to read this. So 3 Down Nation is the name of this website that covers the CFL. So this guy writes, 3 Down Nation has posted over 22,000 articles since it was launched in May of 2015, and the Esiason story remains the 4th most popular in the history of the website. The publication requested an interview with Esiason in the days following the game, but CBS declined.
I don't remember that.
It probably never got to you.
Yeah.
I guess
Jen firewall. Yeah.
Jen Sabatel put up the firewall.
Well, I mean, 3 Down Nation. I mean, do you think she's going to say yes to that?
I didn't even know that we own the rights. Maybe I can get, maybe Tyler or somebody will give us a game to do or something. You think you could call an NFL game?
They're picking up the feed of the Canadian.
Oh, they're picking up the feed. Okay.
And actually, CBS Sports Network has a bunch of games.
Yeah, I mean, I've caught some of their games. It's not that I dislike the CFL. It's just
it's fun, especially.
And every now and again, one of their athletes will come down here and become a really good player.
This guy really had it out for you. This guy who's writing this article. It says after the declining of the interview, it says the 62-year-old former NFL MVP recently made headlines for incorrectly reporting that Ben Johnson would be the next head coach of the Commanders and almost fighting a belligerent NFL fan at a Baltimore train station.